All right, y'all. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, and welcome to another episode of DBZ Nation. Before I start, I want to thank all the new subscribers to the channel. Everybody been liking and sharing the videos. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Wanted to talk about this kerfuffle that's going on with the First Descendant. Now, I tried to live stream First Descendant earlier today, and for some reason it kept saying that the server is not working. The server is not working. So this is an article I wanted to read to y'all. What the gamer put out. I want y'all to read this with me, so maybe we can understand why the First Descendant is having so hard of a time just providing simple service to its content creators. So the First Descendant know the game still has a long way to go. I was impressed by how honest Nexium games were about the First Descendant path after the launch. Game Developers Conference this year. Producer Lee public talk was titled "The First Descendant: Preserving Through a 57 Metacritic as a live service game." And when I sat down with Lee on the last day of the conference, he was similarly open, admitting that though on an upward trajectory, the game is still struggling. Now, I want to say this real quick. Why? And I only been playing the game for a few weeks, but I'm gonna tell you three things that I recommend the developers and the makers of this game do. Number one, stop the microtransactions. Make it to where you don't have to have a microtransaction just to do simple things like get a new weapon or to get a new move, or and don't make it so expensive to get new characters like Bunny and other ones. Frida. Let me continue on. And another thing, you have to have a good server. If I'm playing my PlayStation, all my games work when I stream, but when I go to First Descendant, the server is always working or not working, or you play for 30 minutes and then it cuts off. I mean, this is basic 101 with gaming, okay? So I think we're in the process going toward having a strong narrative and working to satisfy users. When we first launched the game, we set the bar differently compared to that of users, said Lee, through a translator. I think we were trying to set the right tone. Recovering from a rocky launch, you can say that again, as indicated by the rough Metacritic metrics score and a drop in current users since its peak in its first week. That has been difficult. Players complain about the grind, about one character being massively overused, about another character being annoying to play, about microtransactions, which I was just talking about microtransactions and about alleged plagiarism that led to the game dropping 70% of its player base within a few weeks of launch last year. The game debuts when a peak concurrent player count of 265,000, an impressive number for any game. But the day I sat down with Lee, the First Descendant was hovering around 18,000 on stream. There is an established path forward. For much of the history of live service games, it has been possible for a game to garner a negative reception at launch, then slowly work to build a community and earn goodwill. Finally, Final Fantasy did it, No Man's Sky did it, and excuse my butchering that name, pulled off a recent pulled as recently as pulled it off as recently as Fallout 76. But short-term results seem to have taken precedence over long-term relationships, leading to publishers shutting games like First Descendant and Concord down quickly after launch. Given the saturated live service market and the expectations that gamers immediately hit or quit, it seems unlikely that the First Descendant could ever get back to those debut numbers. So I wonder what success would look like for the game going forward. Even though concurrent users are very important metrics, the most important metric, is our opinion, is the retention rate, says Lee. Per his GDC talk, season 2 brought a 92.4% increase in daily users and a 20% increase in returning players. That's the part that we are focusing on and trying to improve. Compared to season 1 and season 2, episode retention rate was higher for the season 2, episode 2. It became even higher. So I think that our main focus at the moment, and once we reach a satisfying point with the retention rate, I think we'll be able to secure more users once they come back to the game. Speed and quality. Getting players to stick with the game means finding out what players want and giving it to them. In his GDC talk, Lee spoke about the team having 3 focus areas as they sought to improve the game: swift adaptation based on player feedback, delivering constant high quality content that keeps players engaged, and enhancing stability and performance for a stable and seamless gameplay experience. I wonder how those first 2 goals, speed and quality, coexist with they seem to be at odds. Note, though fan feedback is important, the team often receives requests to be able to change descendant skin color, but say they're solidly against ever implementing that change. 2 points are in conflict, and sometimes in the earliest stages of running the game, we also struggled. We also focused more on being agile, Lee said. We wanted to resolve problems as fast as possible, but then we saw problems getting bigger and bigger, like a snowballs, and we realized that it's not an ideal way of resolving the issues. This led to the team switching to longer development cycles for updates. Season 3, which is set to hit this summer, has taken more than half a year. But it's bringing exciting changes along with it. There will be a new open field area called Aidson Mount to make crossing the space easier and for large-scale battles in field, but they're saving further details for the future. The First Descendant may never reach the heights it hit right out the gate, but after a rocky start, it seems like it's in a good position to please its audience. That would change 57 Metascore, but if Nexium can keep the fans happy, they don't seem to mind. So, I just wanted to read that to y'all. Again, this article was brought to you by The Gamer. Y'all definitely, I'm sorry about that, family. Y'all definitely can check that out. and they have other articles that you can read. Hold on real quick. There's another article right here that I may read to y'all maybe on another day about the speed and quality. But, I pretty much wanted to make the point, and I would love to hear from TFD from First Descendant players, and what's y'all opinion about this. I mean, like I said, I've been playing it for a few weeks, and I noticed that the quality is pretty bad. Keeping a server, being able to play the game for longer than 20 to 30 minutes without it breaking down and not being able to use, and just the microtransaction, just all it just so hard to play and to enjoy the game. So what say you, DBZ Nation? Hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, and I would love to know your opinion. All right, y'all. Peace and love. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all in another video. Peace.